Now, I hate to jump into a story like this out of Texas. This will be the sad story of Audrii Cunningham. I'm thejbgunner. This is Crime Time. I'm not going to waste too much time. We're going to get right into it. Let's do it.
Bring it back.
Well, what's going on, everybody? As you guys know, I'm thejbgunner, and this is Crime Time. Now, before we get started, let me first and foremost say thank you to everybody that supports the channel. Any of my channels, regardless of platform and regardless of method you choose, whether it be Cash App, Patreon, Venmo, PayPal. Guys, truth is, I couldn't do this each and every day as often as I do if it wasn't for you, the Gun Squad. Big shout out to you guys. Love you so much. And if you too find my content valuable, feel free to hit the links down below. Support the channel. Join the Gun Squad today. Appreciate every last one of you guys. While you're down there, you can also find my other channels. I got a news channel, a politics channel, a live stream channel, a vacationing and hiking channel, a gaming channel, wrestling channel. Man, I got it all. It's all down there as well. But let's go ahead and jump right on into this. Let's stop the shilling and get on into the fucking story, because this one's a big one. Mother of 11-year-old girl who went missing after being dropped off at a Texas bus stop says she is broken and mad as cops find her backpack near a lake and arrest person of interest, age 42. We'll get into that person of interest here in just a second, but right off the jump when I hear this story, I have a problem with it. And I know I'm constantly talking negative about the victims, not this little girl at all. The reality of this is I'm going to say something negative about the parents, because I don't know about you, but I would not personally drop an 11-year-old off at a bus stop and then leave the bus stop. You know, I'm actually surprised, because a recent girlfriend had told me that, you know, when they came to live with me, I was like, well, where's the bus stops? And they're like, here in North Georgia, the buses come right to the driveways to pick up the kids. And I was shocked, because I'd never seen anything like that before. I always was under the impression that everybody just had, you know, certain bus stops. You had to walk the kids to the bus stop or drop them off at the bus stop or whatever the case may be. But so I never really, you know, at least recently, have never had to deal with things like that. But I personally would have never just dropped off a small child at a bus stop and then drove away. I'm sorry. There's too much shit that happens out here. That's just me personally. Some of you guys, I understand you have to. You got to get to work, whatever. So, you know, I'm not criticizing too much. But to me, this is an example of the dangers of what can happen when you do that. 11-year-old Audrii Cunningham went missing in Texas on her way to school, prompting her desperate mother, Cassie Matthews, to plead for her safe return. Audrii disappeared after being dropped off at a bus stop in Livingston, Texas, and had not been seen since Thursday morning, although her backpack has been found. Bad news is that I don't think she's going to be alive. It just is what it is. The mother of an 11-year-old girl from Texas whose daughter went missing on the way to school is pleading for her safe return. Audrii Cunningham vanished early on Thursday morning in Livingston, northeast of Houston, after being dropped off the bus by father. She has not been seen since leaving. Her parents Her parents are desperate for news of her whereabouts. Don Stephen McDougal, who had previously babysat Audrii, was named as a person of interest and was arrested. So we'll wait. Her mother, Cassie Matthews, told KRPC, there is not one feeling you feel. It's a roller coaster. You're broken. You're mad. You're empty. And right now I'm empty. And I can definitely understand that feeling. She has so many opportunities ahead of her. Here's the thing. In most cases like this, I have a feeling we're going to get some bad news. Here's the person of interest in the disappearance of Audrii Cunningham. This man right here, drinking the Bud Light, which means he's soft as shit. But this man right here, Don Stephen McDougal, is the person of interest, and we'll dive into him a little bit more here in just a second. But here's the story.
Every inn that we search, it just ends with empty hands so far. And I want my baby returned.
New at 10, the mother of missing 11-year-old Audrii Cunningham speaking out for the first time tonight, praying for the safe return of her daughter.
It's been 40 hours since anyone has seen 11-year-old Audrii Cunningham.
She is at the center of an Amber Alert out of Polk County after never boarding her school bus yesterday morning. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Keith.
So she never boarded the school bus. So I wonder if the person of interest who used to babysit her, because he would have known probably that's her school bus. Like, I mean, was he sitting at home and said, today is the day. I'm going to go kidnap her from the school bus. You know, I always question shit like this. Why is he the target? Hopefully we'll get some information, perhaps in this video, in regards to it. But just in general, like, was he just sitting at home? And he's like, I know I'm going to go get her right now, today. Do you see my point? Like, it just seems like a strange thing if he wasn't currently babysitting her.
Keith Garvin.
And I'm Candace Burns. Daniela Guzman is off tonight. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry has been with investigators at Lake Livingston this evening as they're zeroing in on persons of interest in her disappearance.
Persons.
The search for Audrii Cunningham is on pause for the night. Investigators spent several hours at Lake Livingston today following leads.
She's in that water.
A specialized FBI team is now
She's in that water, I bet.
involved. And tonight, for the first time, Audrii's mother talked to our cameras, sharing an emotional plea to bring her daughter home.
There's not words for it. There's not one feeling you feel. It's a roller coaster.
The roller coaster of emotion started Thursday night for Cassie Matthews. Her 11-year-old daughter, Audrii Cunningham, didn't return home after school, never even made it on the bus that morning.
This is the stuff that you see on TV and you wonder, you can only imagine what the family and the parents are going through.
Last seen near her home around 7 a.m. Thursday. Investigators say family reported her missing around 5:30 p.m. Livingston ISD tells us they let Cunningham's family know she wasn't in class. Friday, the search brought investigators to Lake Livingston, where they used boats, drones, and dogs.
This is a location of interest. We are bringing in divers.
This is nuts.
As well. Again, this is all an effort to uncover a...
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. You know, it takes a special kind of monster to abduct this beautiful little girl. Do whatever happened to her. You know, when I hear cases like this, I automatically assume it's rape. I could be wrong. But imagine the kind of monster it takes to kidnap a little girl as she's just waiting with her backpack to go to school, rape her, and just discard her in a lake, which is what I think happened here. No matter who did it, whether it's the guy that they have as the suspect, there's got to be a reason they suspect him. To have, you know, whether it's him or somebody else, like that kind of monstrous activity, I personally cannot fathom and understand it being inside of any human being.
Additional leads.
The text
And Tyrones don't count. Those, you know, Tyrones don't count. We're not the same beings as them.
Rangers, along with Polk and San Jacinto County Sheriff's offices, now getting help from the FBI, including a specialized child abduction rapid deployment.
And by the way, they say it, not me. Tyrones say we're not the same beings. They think we're Neanderthals. Fine, I'm down with that. Just saying.
Team. Those teams, according to the FBI, have a proven track record in crimes against children investigations, especially cases where a child has been abducted by someone other than a family member. Is it the belief that she was abducted?
I know that term implies that. We're not drawing any conclusions right now.
Investigators say they have persons of interest, but are keeping many details private.
I feel like I can't do anything because I know nothing.
The family,
that's
desperate
true.
to find Audrii, who's known to love animals and make others laugh.
She has so many opportunities ahead of her, and she deserves every right to be able to reach those opportunities.
Until she's back home, safe, Matthews won't give up.
Right now, I am empty.
Feel
And
bad.
I'm not gonna
Feel bad for them.
I'm not gonna be the same unless my baby is returned to me.
Investigators tell us they have other locations of interest as well, but we don't know where those are. We know that they do plan to be back here at Lake Livingston tomorrow morning, and any tips should be called in to the Polk County Sheriff's Office. In Cold Spring, I'm Bryce Newberry.
I have a horrible feeling how this is going to turn out. A horrible, horrible feeling. A suspect, age 42, McDougal, has been arrested on an unrelated charge of aggravated assault, but he is also a person of interest in Audrii's disappearance, as he had recently acted as a babysitter for the child. I wonder if that's the only reason that he's a person of interest, is because he had previously been a babysitter. I wonder if that's it. Police are now looking. All right, here we go. Craig Cummings says, I want to say that we are hopeful we can bring Audrii home alive, and that is what we are absolutely working for. Based on the evidence that we've got, we understand foul play is a factor as well. Police are now looking for McDougal's 2003 dark blue Chevrolet Suburban that may be linked to the youngster's disappearance. They must have that Suburban on camera. If you ask me, that's probably how they've connected him. She's 4'1", blonde hair, blue eyes, beautiful, beautiful little girl. Let's talk about McDougal. Babysitter Don Stephen McDougal, who has served time for child sex offenses, here we go, is identified as a person of interest after Audrii Cunningham disappeared 5 days ago when her dad dropped her off at school. See, people like this cannot be... Listen, if you have a child sex offense, in my opinion, you cannot be fixed. I believe, and there are many states pushing for this, that the death penalty should also include chomos, child molesters. I believe the death penalty should include those types of people, because there is no recovery from that. You don't just wake up all of a sudden and not want to fuck little kids. See what I'm saying? McDougal is a career criminal with a rap sheet in the area going back more than 20 years. He was most recently released from prison in 2020. Now I'm starting to see why he's a person of interest. The person of interest in the case of missing 11-year-old Audrii Cunningham has been revealed as a swastika tattoo having ex-con whose previous offenses have included child and enticement. Let me make this clear, okay? No self-respecting white man that, let's just say, is a white supremacist, okay? Because I saw the tattoo, would ever do anything to harm a blonde-haired, blue-eyed young girl. I made this argument in return and talking about the Delphi case, and there are clear examples like possibly this one where one has. I just want to make this clear. You're not doing anything for your people by harming your people. Let the Tyrones harm each other. We're not supposed to harm each other, particularly our children. That's what is supposed to separate us from the rest. And I don't give a shit what you guys' opinion is on that. The bottom line, you do not harm children. And you don't harm your own unless you're in danger. People can get mad at me for saying that all you'd like. But it should be a ethic that all of us have. You don't harm the kids, you don't harm your own. Let's get back to him. McDougal has not been charged in relation to Cunningham's disappearance and is being held on a separate assault charge. He's a career criminal, as we already knew. He was found guilty on 2 counts of child enticement and sentenced to 2 years in prison for each. Cunningham went missing early on Thursday, which we already know. We already know that. There's her father. Matthews said that McDougal would regularly be responsible for watching Cunningham while the girl's father was at work. She added that she did not learn of this arrangement until after her daughter disappeared. Oh, shit. It was the dad's friend. Oh, man. Social media photos show that McDougal has a swastika tattoo to the top of his left arm. I don't know why that matters. In one post from January 20, he said he had just been released from prison. McDougal and Joshua Cunningham are friends on Facebook. Police found a backpack thought to belong to Cunningham close to Lake Livingston Dam on Friday, as well as unspecified items that likely belong to a young child. Officials have said that they believe foul play is involved, and they're hopeful that she will be found alive. The frigid temperatures being... Oh, man, it is cold. The authorities are also seeking a 2003 dark blue Chevy Suburban, which is considered connected to the disappearance. That is McDougal's car. That is McDougal's car. It's a sad, sad fucking story. Sad story. No doubt about it. Here's a little bit of information on Stephen McDougal.
Have new video showing authorities talking to a person of interest in the disappearance of an 11-year-old Livingston girl. Audrii Cunningham hasn't been seen since Thursday morning when she was supposed to get on board her school bus. Tonight, authorities are calling Don McDougal one of their persons of interest related to her case. McDougal is currently in custody at the Polk County Sheriff's Office on an unrelated assault charge. Devon Roming joins us live from the Sheriff's Office tonight with new video and a look at a disturbing part of McDougal's criminal history. Devon.
I think he did it.
That's right, Marcelino. Speaking of that criminal history, it's pretty extensive as he is in custody tonight.
I think he clearly did it, man. He's got a history of shit with kids. I think he definitely did it.
And it extends as far back as 2007, involving a conviction of enticing a minor.
This man should be put to death. In Texas, in my opinion, especially being in Texas, this man should be put to death for this. Death penalty, conviction and death penalty.
With intent.
This is the man investigators say is among the persons of interest in the disappearance
Scumbag.
of 11-year-old Audrii Cunningham, 42-year-old
Scumbag.
Don Stephen McDougal.
He was arrested yesterday for an unrelated aggravated assault charge.
This cell phone video captured the moment McDougal was seen driving away in a 2003 Chevy Suburban Friday before his arrest after being questioned by authorities.
Oh.
It matches the SUV investigators released pictures of Saturday morning.
There you go.
Friday night, KHOU 11 was the only station at the Polk County Jail when a vehicle appearing to be McDougal's.
I told you they had to have had to. Yeah, you can't, look, man, you can't get away with crime no more. There's video everywhere.
Was brought to the sheriff's office.
And in furtherance of this investigation, we're asking for the public to call the Polk County Sheriff's Office or use our iWatch Texas app to report seeing the 2003 Chevrolet Suburban that we put out on X this morning.
11-year-old Audrii Cunningham hasn't been seen since Thursday morning. Her family reported her missing after she didn't get off her school bus Thursday afternoon, and it was later learned she never got on the bus that morning. Investigators say a child's backpack was found wet near the Lake Livingston Dam Friday, about 5 miles from Audrii's home. It's
What?
the same area investigators have spent the last 2 days searching. Her disappearance now resonating with people across the community.
She's in that lake.
This is probably one of the biggest news stories that this area here has had in a while.
Audrii's mother telling KHOU 11 she lived with her father, grandmother, and another man, a man who would occasionally drop her off at the bus stop for school.
I have, 7 nieces and nephews. I couldn't imagine what their family's going through.
Now, search efforts are expected to resume first thing tomorrow morning. In the meantime, a $7,000 reward for information leading to an arrest or conviction is up for grabs. Here in Polk County, Devon Roming, KHOU 11 News.
7,000. How they come up with numbers like that, right? How they come up? Victim speaks out after being attacked by Don Stephen McDougal. So we're going to talk, I'm going to show you guys this because this is probably one of his other victims and things of that nature. Let's take a listen.
The search for 11-year-old Audrii Cunningham is nearing its 5th day, and tonight we're learning more about the last person who police say was seen with her. This man beside me here. Fox 26's Abigail Dye has been digging into the past of Don Stephen McDougal. She's joining us now live from Livingston with an exclusive interview from a man McDougal attacked with a knife. Abigail.
Anthony, this is a conviction back from 2010 of McDougal's, and this is one of many on his rap sheet. This story shows just how dangerous and violent he can really be.
Don Stephen McDougal, the last person little Audrii Cunningham was with before she
Complete
vanished,
scumbag.
according to officials. They say the family friend lived on the Cunningham's property. He's been under our microscope, and we found a lengthy, violent criminal history.
Just the sheer look of him. I know I hate to judge a book by its cover, but you know, that's one book somebody should have judged.
Alec Bryan III says he worked with McDougal back in 2010. One night after some drinks at his house, things got ugly.
He got drunk one night, we threw him out of the house, and he come back with a knife and slashed tires and tried to stab me with a knife, and I had to run him off with a gun. And the cops finally come out with dogs and got him.
What were those moments like for you, almost getting stabbed?
Terrifying. You know, it really was. I mean, he's, like I said, he seemed like a nice guy, but then he's got this whole other side to him that no one seemed to know about until now.
Clearly.
McDougal was convicted of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon for that attack. And 2 years earlier, he had been convicted of enticement of a child, according to records. Then in 2019, he was convicted of another aggravated assault. Court records saying he hit someone in the back of the head with a pipe. Officials arrested McDougal
Complete
for another case
scumbag.
on Friday.
Complete
after
scumbag.
Questioning him, as you see in this video.
Little
We
fella.
remain hopeful that he will begin helping in this case.
As the search for little Audrii continues.
One of the most horriblest, worst things somebody can do is lose a child. Because I lost my daughter when she was 7 to cancer, so yeah, I know how it is. And this right here is even worse because there's no closure.
And if you could say
None.
anything to McDougal now, what would you say to him?
Tell them what happened. Where is she? They need to know. Family needs to know.
Now, McDougal has not been charged with any crimes in the disappearance of little Audrii, and Crime Stoppers has increased their reward to $10,000 for any information
$10,000 now?
around this case. If you know anything, please contact authorities. Any information that can help bring Audrii home. Reporting live in Livingston, Abigail Dye, Fox 26 News.
It's crazy shit, right? Crazy, crazy shit. Sad story. I'm curious what you guys think. Do you think McDougal did? I do. I think McDougal did this. Do you guys believe McDougal did this? Do you believe this is going to be... Here's what I think happened. I do think he lived at the house. I believe he went and got her from the bus stop. I believe he raped and killed her and threw her in the lake. I think that's exactly what the answer to this is going to be. And that father, he's going to fucking live with this for the rest of his life because he's the one that let him move in. He's the one that's friends with this guy. How anyone could be friends with someone that's got child sex crimes on the record is beyond me. I agree people need second chances. I mean, I'm a convicted felon, but I want you to understand, that's a different... Once you're diddling kids and fucking with kids, you're on a whole different level of scumbaggery. And people in prison will take you out. Trust me. I don't know how he's made it this long. But this story, to combine that with what previously happened, I don't think he's going to make it. I'm not even sure this guy would make it to trial at this point. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Do you agree with my assessment on this? Let me know in the comment section. If you like what I do here and you find my content valuable, I know it's not an Idaho 4 video. If you like what I do, feel free to hit the links down below. Join the Gun Squad. Love you guys. I'm out of here.